Leave a like on the video for another classic get woke, go broke moment. It was like anybody who remembered the massive backlash of the Last of Us 2 video game, any one of us could have told you this is exactly how the Last of Us TV show was going to go. But for whatever reason, Hollywood's like totally shocked. The viewership, I've got the numbers, is down more than 50% and has absolutely plummeted off basically one of the worst narrative decisions in history, and that was ending Joel's character the way they did. The fact that The Last of Us 3 Last of Us thinks anybody is going to tune in for season 3, which is going to be even more woke, is bonkers to me. HBO does this all the time. They start off with a good concept. They wokeify it. And by the way, in their defense, okay, Joel, the Joel stuff is canon. The Bella Ramsey character is laughable. Now, I think the memes are funny where people make her face smaller and smaller. I think that's kind of funny. But like, I don't think the show sucks because of her. I think the show sucks because The Last of Us got woke anyway. And then now HBO took it to a level even higher. And the show just isn't that good. I mean, it just isn't that good. People would watch the first season because they remembered the first Last of Us game that everybody loved. But by the time the second season came around, people are like, oh yeah, it went to the dumpster bin. Let's look into these numbers. By the way, huge shout out to everyone who is subscribing to Quarter Cast. It's my second channel. I live stream there every day at 2 Eastern, 1 Eastern on Friday. There's shorts there. There's segments there, not available anywhere else. I'm hoping you will subscribe. Link down in the description below. If you're a Rumble viewer, then you get all of it all on that one channel too. But we have to say to The Last of Us viewership drops and proves why modern TV is broken. Yeah, it's definitely modern TV. It's not the garbage woke switcheroos. The Last of Us Season 3 may have been greenlit, but it has a huge problem, and it's an issue plaguing modern television. Everything is taking way too long. Season 2 only had 7 episodes, and in that time, the show managed to kill off Joel, chronicle Ellie's entire 3-day experience in Seattle, explore what happened between her and Joel after the events of Season 1, explain the late Eugene, and tee up Season 3's Abby switcheroo with its shocking, divisive ending. I mean, Abby was easily, I would say, is this crazy? The most hated video game character of all time? At least, I think that the most hated modern day video game character of all time, almost certainly. There's a lot of plot considering it's an adaptation of a game that takes just 20 to 40 hours to complete. The TV show managed to do less of it in 7 hours while streamlining and expanding some parts. Whether or not it feels rushed or subjective, that's easy to understand fans' criticisms. That's not the main issue. The first season had 9 episodes, and then we had to wait just under 2 years for a second, shorter batch of episodes. Now, off the back of a big cliffhanger, we're waiting again, and season 3 probably won't be out till 2027. So here's the question. What the hell has happened to TV? The season 2 finale pulled in 3.7 million viewers, a 55% drop from season 1's 8.2 million. HBO insists the show still has a higher than average viewer figure per episode than the first season. It obviously doesn't. It's possible that people stopped watching after Joel's passing, but there's another reason worth considering. If viewers know they're going to need to wait a long time to see what happens, what's the rush to check out the finale? Or worse yet, what if they abandon the show altogether because they're fed up with the stop-start experience of watching it? I identify with this bigly. Every time I get into a show, they'll be like, "Oh, it's going to be 2 years till the next episode comes out," and just like DeSerto points out, this season will have like 6 episodes. Black Mirror is a perfect example of this. Black Mirror is a show that I generally forget about. By the time it comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, Black Mirror's out. And then I have no interest in watching it because I know that there's not going to be any, although those aren't episodic, they stand alone. By the way, this season only had 2 good episodes out of 6. But like, what happened to giving us 10 to 12 episodes? You know, like there's no reason we shouldn't have 10 to 12 episodes minimum on these shows. And we need to get things going. The fact that they want to stretch everything out for 2 to 3 years is absurd. I mean, The Simpsons used to have a new episode every week, 30 weeks, 40 weeks out of the year. Obviously, it's hard to compare The Simpsons to this, but you get what I'm saying. There are obvious factors. Each season requires extensive video effects. No, it doesn't. That's what you want. It doesn't require that. And they depend on scheduling up its increasingly famous cast. Pedro Pascal's Fantastic Four, The Mandalorian, and Grogu, and Avengers Doomsday, all coming up between now and 2027. In an earlier interview with THR, Mazin said they developed a more efficient process on the second season, and it still took them 2 years to come back with barely 7 episodes. Other shows guilty of the same problem: The Boys Season 5, House of Dragon Season 3. I would argue Severance, too. A Night of Seven Kingdoms being delayed. Oh, yeah, and Severance Season 3, it's right on here. Stranger Things Season 5, the final season of Netflix flagship series, is expected to start streaming 9 years after the first season premiered. 9! I'm sympathetic to the scale of these productions. House of the Dragon's showrunner Ryan Condal said it's so complex we're making multiple feature films every season, but nobody's choosing that. Breaking Bad aired between January 20th, 2008 and September 29th, 2013. Over 5 years, was 5 seasons, 62 episodes. Succession, 2018 to 2023, 4 seasons, 40 episodes. The Sopranos, one of the best series ever, 90 episodes in 8 years. I mean, it's ridiculous that they think that this stuff is required. Some disappointing news about The Last of Us Season 3's release date. I know many viewers of The Last of Us Season 2 finale were a bit confused when they suddenly realized that Episode 7 was in fact the finale rather than making it the traditional 8-episode season or 9 like Season 1. Unfortunately, there's more bad news, as the cliffhanger ending is not going to be resolved anytime soon. Right now, we have zero idea when The Last of Us 3 will even start filming after the 2025 finale. The likely answer is not until 2026. Even the show's lead actor, Bella Ramsey, barely understands the scope of their role in Season 3. I haven't seen any scripts, but yes, I do expect that, they said. I think I'm going to be in there, but not a whole bunch. We've had a conversation about that. I sort of have a rough idea, but I can't tell you. I mean, Bella Ramsey is a horrible actress. Cringeworthy to the max. But, you know, I don't know how she is as a person. But she sucks as the main character. Here you have The Hollywood Reporter saying, the season finale drew 3.7 million viewers on HBO and Max on its first night, well short of the 8.2 million viewers for the close of its first season in February 2023. And I'm assuming the premiere in 2023 was probably closer to 9 or 10 million. Some of the decline for the May 25th episode may be due to the fact that it debuted Memorial Day weekend, when viewing levels are typically lower than normal. HBO notes the second season is averaging 37 million worldwide viewers across all platforms, worldwide being the key word here. Season 1 drew 32 million cross-platform viewers in the US alone. HBO measures viewings for shows 90 days after season premiere, and they have not released the US-only figures for their current season, but I'm sure it is down massively. Massively. The show became a woke joke. You see this, The Last of Us Season 2 created a new Ellie out of thin air. Sunday night's finale of The Last of Us Season 2 capped off not only the short string of episodes, but finalized the case for gamers that the show has gotten wildly out of bounds in terms of its source material. Yes, similar events happen, the same characters are present, but often these are not the same characters. Specifically, HBO's The Last of Us 2 has invented an entirely new Ellie for Season 2 that never even existed in the much better Season 1, and certainly didn't exist in the video games at all. You know, if Paul Tassi, the soy-infused media reporter for Forbes, is roasting you, it's as bad as it gets. To start, the thing isn't meant to be put on Bella Ramsey. The worst thing you could say about Ramsey is that it's too bad they couldn't get 6 inches taller between seasons, and they just look about the same age despite a huge time jump. Ramsey has had great performances, but great performances often very bad scripts and things that fundamentally all alter Ellie from the game. This was not the same Ellie. This Ellie feels like a kid going on a fun road trip with her girlfriend, only occasionally remembering what she's there to do when a switch is flipped and she temporarily activates revenge mode. The show is deathly afraid portraying Ellie as unsympathetic or cruel, a girl trying to avenge her father figure, but realizing how hard and sad it makes her when people actually start dying, often by accident. Game Ellie is not this. Game Ellie has spent 5 years training to be a killing machine, bordering on being an actual sociopath as she carves her way through the WLF to her specific targets. By this point, it's deeply weird that the show Ellie has barely taken anyone out. One guard, I think. She left someone to pass away and accidentally took 2 other people out this week. Yes, it's true. It's a video game. You're doing this to dozens and dozens of people in levels. And while it's not necessary here, and this Ellie has lost almost all teeth outside of maybe Nora's spore scene that was instantly felt like Game Ellie for about 90 seconds. Ellie did not take out Owen and Mel by accident in the game. She did that on purpose. They completely soyified the main character. They're more concerned with her being in an LGBTQ relationship. The show is garbage tier. I knew HBO would do this. That's why I didn't invest any time into it. You knew right away when they wasted a whole episode on making a character who wasn't canonically gay, and making the whole episode about a gay romance between the 2 characters. I watched up until that, and then I was out. I knew it was doomed. I think the numbers are far worse than we know, and it's absolutely hilarious. Make sure to subscribe to Quartercast, my second YouTube channel, linked down in the description below. If you're a Rumble viewer, then I put all the content on my Rumble channel, so you don't need to do that to get access to all new content. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again real soon.